From the Don Haskins Center, welcome to El Paso as the Western Kentucky Lady Toppers take on the UTEP Miners. I am Mondo Medina along with my partner, Rachel Phillips. Rachel, it should be a tremendous matchup today as the UTEP Miners try to pull a second upset in a row.
Yeah, it certainly will be. I mean, the Miners coming off just a massive, emphatic win, probably the biggest in the Coach Baker era today. And like you said, now having to back it up against WKU, a very good team, the number 2 in Conference USA right now.
Yeah, and it's very tough also. I think Coach Baker called it a trap game when you have such an emotional win and to come back 2 days next and try to do it again with a team that's ranked second in Conference USA.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how UTEP actually back up here. He told me yesterday in practice they were a little sluggish both physically and mentally, so it will be interesting to see how they kind of come out here today, obviously needing a fast start against a very good WKU team.
It should be a good one as the Miners come in, as you see the records right there. The Miners in 3rd place, Western Kentucky in 2nd place, 9-3 overall, 12-9 overall, 93 conference play for the Miners. They're 14-6 overall, 7-4. But what an emotional win on this past Thursday. And the Miners are going to get some help because Nia Boyd, who has not played in the past couple of games for the Miners, will be back. She's not going to start, but she will be back for this matchup.
Yeah, a massive inclusion there for UTEP, having Nia Boyd back in the squad. Just the experience she brings and the competitiveness. She's one of those players that out in the court really rallies the team. And considering we probably both expect this game to be pretty tight, it'll be massive having her in the team.
And of course, you see Greg Collins, their 5th season with Western Kentucky, 79-59. Of course, UTEP coach Kevin Baker, 6th year with the Miners. And of course, as we said, best victory for the Miners this past Thursday here when they beat nationally ranked Middle Tennessee. As we get ready for the tip-off here, UTEP versus Western Kentucky. Thank you so much for joining us. And there's Coach Kevin Baker. Thank you so much for joining us on ESPN Plus. I am Mondo Medina, like I said, along with Rachel Phillips. As we get ready for the tip-off here at the historic Don Haskins Center, and the Miners get the ball as Elena Orica gets it, and she'll give it to Avery Krause to start off this game. Now Krause passes it. Jazion Jackson, the star of the game this past Thursday for the Miners. Adele Tack was able to recover there. Now Krause with the basketball for UTEP. And now a steal, so the first turnover there as Maya Meredith has got the basketball, and she will pass it to Aliyah Pitts. And then now left corner for Western Kentucky as Alexis Mead is the one with the basketball. Passes it to Meredith. Jalen Foster. Now to Hayes. Inside, spinning, taking the shot, and making it is Jalen Foster. Foster averages about 10 points, one of the scoring leaders, Rachel, of this team.
Yeah, already WKU capitalizing off a steal and a turnover there from UTEP and getting first points in this game. It's something they're known for and something they will have to watch out for as this game continues.
Jazion Jackson drives, misses, but Elena Orica gets the rebound, and she will be fouled by Acadia Hayes. First foul on Acadia Hayes. And that's going to send Elena Orica to the line, shooting 2. Orica had a career-high 20 points this past Thursday. She averages 10.7 points a game, 80% free throw shooter. First free throw is up, and it is good. Second free throw is up for Orica, and we are all tied up at 2 as we've played about a minute here at the Don Haskins Center. And now Hayes with the basketball. She gets it to Mead. Mead quickly brings the ball down the court, looking to get past. She got in trouble. She passes it to Foster. Foster to Pitts. Pitts passes. And now driving in, spin. Nothing there. Good defense by the Miners so far. As Meredith has got it, she'll drive in, and there's going to be a blocking foul on the Miners. And, of course, Rachel, the crowd here at the Haskins Center not happy with that call.
No, not at all, but nice to see some fans in the stands here at the Don Haskins Center. Obviously, not too many here on Thursday night when they knocked off a ranked Middle Tennessee, but good to see that that has kind of drawn in some more fans here in the Don.
And Maya Meredith will go to the line. A couple of substitutions already, Rachel, for the Miners, as Nia Boyd, first action she's seen in a couple of weeks, is in, along with Sabine Lipe for the Miners.
Yeah, Naya's first game since January 19th against FIU, so back in the court now for her.
Meredith first free throw is up, and it is good. Meredith averages 8.1 points a game, 72% free throw shooter. Second free throw coming up for Meredith. And it is no good. 1 point lead for Western Kentucky, 3-2 early going here from the Don Haskins Center. Enrique gives it to Nia Boyd. But they were slow to bring her back, so let's see how she responds today, Rachel. Now Erin Wilson drives, takes the shot, and she makes it.
A massive play there from Wilson. She was double teamed out here at the sideline and able to get out of that and dribble it into the net.
And Erin Wilson has been one of the players that has stepped up for UTEP in the absence of Nia Boyd. Coach Kevin Baker told us that. On the other end, Meredith gets in there and she scores. She now has 4 points. Good give and go by Western Kentucky.
Yeah, Western Kentucky here with the same starting five for the last 13 games in a row. So this team knows how to play together and knows how to start together, and they're proving that right here.
Sabine Lipe with the basketball for the Miners. Trying to get it to Arika. She does it. Trying to get it down low to Tack. Instead, it'll be a miss by Arika. Great drive. He just didn't go in, and we have a whistle on the floor. Foul will go against UTEP, Erin Wilson. Check that, Aliyah Pitts. It was on Western Kentucky. UTEP to bring in the basketball. And now Lipe has got it. Now Wilson will drive baseline. Takes the shot, and it doesn't go in. The rebound goes to Western Kentucky, Maya Meredith. And now she'll get it to Elise Mead. Now Meredith with the basketball. 1 point lead in favor of the Lady Toppers. And now Meredith with the basketball. She's going to take the shot there, and she will make it. And Maya Meredith, Rachel, already has 6 points in this game. She has every point except the one for the Lady Toppers.
Yeah, massive start for her. She usually averages 8.1 points a game already, just about 2 points away from that. So a big, big way to start this game.
Check that, 5 points that she's got. On the other end, Erin Wilson, there he is. We talked about that. Wilson now has 4 points for the Miners there. And now very quickly is Western Kentucky with the ball. Three-pointer taken and missed by Hayes. The rebound goes to Nia Boyd for the UTEP Miners. And now she gets a pass midcourt. Drives. Down inside to Adele Tack, and Adele Tack will have the easy bucket. Great assist from Nia Boyd. The sophomore from Dallas, Texas scores.
So the UTEP Miners take their first lead of the game right now.
And it lasted about 2 seconds there, Rachel, as quickly, you see how quickly Western Kentucky is able to score.
As soon as the words came out of my mouth, I looked up and I was like, yeah, that's not going to last any longer.
About under 6 minutes left to go in this game. A couple of substitutions being made as Karis Allen will check in for Western Kentucky. She will replace Aliyah Pitts. And now here comes Western Kentucky with the basketball. They get it into Foster. Foster now passes it. Mead all alone. Look at that, and she scores. The paint was left empty. Took advantage of it, did Western Kentucky.
Yeah, just looked like a bit of a miscommunication there between Boyd and Sabine Lipe. Just got to remember that this is Boyd's first game back in a few weeks, so maybe just testing out the cautions there.
We'll be right back. 11-8 to score. This is ESPN Plus. So we'll keep it right here instead. As you're saying, Rachel, a very open lane there for Western Kentucky. And right now, Western Kentucky with a 3-point lead. And I'm sure Coach Kevin Baker wasn't happy with the fact that the UTEP defense has been very good, just broke down there.
Yeah, it did a little, but I mean, I think he'd probably be happy with how they've started. It's still a close game, just a 3-point ball game right now, and after, going up and taking on Middle Tennessee, knocking a ranked opponent off the first time in 25 years for UTEP to have done that, the first time in Kevin Baker's era as head coach, just a massive achievement for them, and he knew that was a really emotional game and didn't know how they were going to be able to back up here, and starting fast was a key. So the fact that they're just 3 points away right now is got to give them a little bit of confidence. Obviously, some things to clean up. We've already seen one turnover, which is crucial, led to WKU's first points of the game, and then that defensive error there. But to start, they're starting well so far.
One of the things that's helped Western Kentucky is that so far they've only missed one shot, one field goal. They're 83% right now. And by the way, as you see the stats there, Western Kentucky leads the series 4-3. The last time they met, it's been almost 3 years, 2023, and Western Kentucky beat the Miners. So the Miners looking to avenge that loss. It's not often that they meet, but when they do, it's always a great game.
Yeah, a great game is exactly what you expect here today. Once again, the number 2 team in Conference USA taking on the number 3 team in Conference USA in UTEP, and UTEP coming off the back of a massive, massive win on Thursday. Meanwhile, WKU on a 3-game win streak right now, looking to make it 4 games in a row.
And one thing for Western Kentucky is that right now they've scored 8 of their points in the paint, so that's very impressive for the Lady Toppers. For the Miners, they've scored 4, but the Miners are out rebounding right now, Western Kentucky 4-1. So I'm looking to see what type of adjustments are made in this particular break here. Once again, we are live from the Dawn Haskins Center here in El Paso, Texas. The 3rd place team in Conference USA, UTEP Miners, taking on the 2nd place team in Conference USA, Western Kentucky Lady Toppers. Thank you so much for joining us here on ESPN+. As we get ready to resume play, Adele Valkova making an appearance for the Miners. She just checked in, did not play on Thursday, but she is back now. And now here we have Nia Boyd with the basketball, trying to get the offense started for the Miners. Good pressure being put by Western Kentucky. Lipe gets it back to Nia Boyd. Boyd trying to get inside to Valkova. She cannot. And now Lipe is going to be fouled by Karis Allen, who was reaching in there, Rachel.
Yeah, Miners switching things up a bit by having Adela come into the game. She's only played 26 total minutes all season long with just the 9 points. So it'll be interesting to see what she can bring to this UTEP team.
Well, I'm thinking, like you said, like that emotional win, they might have been drained, and maybe that fresh legs is something that Coach Baker is looking for here. Jackson brings in the basketball to Nia Boyd. 5:24 left to go in this first quarter. They get it to Lipa, trying to get it inside to Valkova. They cannot. We have another whistle. And this time it's going to go on Jalen Foster.
Yeah, it looks like Lipe got one to the face just there, grabbed her nose, her mouth as she walked away from that one.
4 fouls against Western Kentucky. The next one will result in free throws for the Miners. They get it to Valkova. Valkova quickly gets it to Lipe. And now Lipe gets it to Wilson. Wilson back to Lipe. Top of the key 3 for Lipe. And she drains it.
As she falls back on the court, nothing but net from Lipe.
And the Miners tie this game up 11 apiece here. Now Meade tries to respond for Western Kentucky. She passes it to Hayes. Hayes drives almost. Now Meade back with it. Trying to get it to Allen. Instead, she gets it to Meredith. And now Meade will drive, spin, takes the shot, and it is blocked by Valkova. And now Jackson with the basketball for the Miners. Passes back to Valkova. Valkova loses the basketball. It goes out of bounds. Last touched by the Miners, and it'll be Western Kentucky basketball.
Even though the Miners couldn't get a score off the back of that, just great defensive effort there from Jazzion Jackson to get the ball and give UTEP a chance on converting off a turnover.
Couple of substitutions as Elena Enrique checks back into the game for Valkova. Teresa Faustino checks in for Western Kentucky, and Faustino has got the ball for the Lady Toppers. As the Miners apply pressure, Faustino being guarded by Nia Boyd. Here comes Jackson, and there's almost a steal, and there is a steal there. Enrique has it. Turnover there by Western Kentucky. Boyd with it. She'll drive, passes Jazzion Jackson for 3, and she drains it.
I think everyone in the Don Haskins Center getting flashbacks right now to the end of Thursday's game when Jazion Jackson made that game-winning three, this time from the corner for Jackson.
Western Kentucky tries to answer, and they do not. Rebound goes to Faustino. Faustino will drive. Pulls it back out. As the Miners take a 3-point lead, Faustino will drive. Trying to get rid of it, she does. Shot taken and missed by Allen. The rebound goes to Lipe for the Miners. And now Lipe loses the basketball, goes out of bounds. It's crazy that you talked about Jackson making that. Her last shot on Thursday was a three. Her first shot today is a three, Rachel. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and what a game she's already having. Yes, that's just her first points of the game, but she's been involved in two big defensive plays to be able to give the Miners a chance on the offense.
And now Boyd has got the basketball, being guarded by Hope Savori. Lipe passes it to Kraus. Kraus is going to be called for a traveling violation. And you always see that called, you know, when they're about to take, when they do that pump fake and they start to drive, usually that always results in a traveling violation. That's what happened right now with Avery Kraus. So now Savori has got the basketball for Western Kentucky, gets it past midcourt. Now here comes the trap. They break that. And now they get it to Allen. Allen, three-pointer taken and made by Hope Savori. And just like that, we are all tied up at 14 apiece, Rachel. Now Nia Boyd with the basketball for the Miners. 3:06 left to go in this first quarter. Boyd still good defense by Faustino there. Nice move made by Boyd, misses the shot, rebounded by Foster for Western Kentucky, and they quickly move the basketball to the other side of the court. Faustino thought about a three. Three is taken and missed by Blevins, and the rebound goes to UTEP. What a rebound there by Sabine Lipe, and now Nia Boyd with the basketball.
Yeah, Western Kentucky is one of the best teams in offensive rebounds and giving themselves extra chances to make that shot. So the more the Miners can limit that with a play like that, it's going to help them in this contest.
And now Arika inside, and she misses it. The rebound by Faustino. We're going to have a foul by Sabine Lipe. 2:21 left to go. As you see the replay there where misses the shot, and there is a foul by Lipe. It'll be Western Kentucky basketball. Macy Blevins to bring it in. Couple of substitutions for UTEP as Soleil Montrose has checked into the game. And now Western Kentucky gets the ball. Good ball movement there by Western Kentucky, and one. Josie Gilvin with the and one opportunity there. Good passing by Western Kentucky, Rachel.
Yeah, great play there to also draw the foul and give themselves a shot at making this a more than a 2-point game right here for Western Kentucky.
Gilvin, the 6-foot freshman from Louisville, Kentucky, averages about 3.7 points a game. She's a 67% free throw shooter. Let's see if she can make this one. And she does not. And Western Kentucky has a 2-point lead here. It's been a close one here in the first quarter, as you would expect. 2:03 left to go in this first quarter. Boyd with the basketball for the Miners. Being guarded by Faustino. Trying to use the screen. Passes to Jackson. Jackson. She's got Kraus on the left side. Instead, she's going to drive into the paint, take the shot, and one for Jazion Jackson.
You talk about how emotional of a win the win on Thursday was for this entire UTEP team, but probably none more so than Jazion Jackson. That was her only game winner she's ever shot. Having to ride the emotions of that. I mean, after the post-game interview, she said, oh my gosh, I got to go call my mum. A massive game for her, and already she's come out and is playing really well here today.
And right now, Jazion Jackson has got 6 points for the Miners, and the Miners get a steal there. Jackson has it. Nia Boyd thought about it. Steps back, and now she drives into the basket, takes the shot, and she makes it. So a 5-point swing by the Miners there in the span of about 5 seconds, Rachel.
Yeah, and the first points of the game for Nia Boyd, returning from injury since January 19th, her first game back.
And now the Miners have a 3-point lead. And now one opportunity now for Western Kentucky as Faustino scores there. As you see her driving right here. And there's the foul by Avery Krause. That'll be the second foul for Avery Krause, Rachel. So that means Coach Baker is going to have her take a seat.
Yeah, I guess the good thing for Coach Baker is the fact they have Nia Boyd as another option there in the backcourt.
Teresa Faustino misses the free throw, and the Miners remain with a 1-point lead with 1:17 left to go in this first quarter. Now Erin Wilson with the basketball, passes it. Jackson to Soleil Montrose. Nia Boyd right corner, double team. Now Jackson all on top of the key, three, and she will miss it. It'll go out of bounds. It'll be Western Kentucky basketball. And Elias Meade checks back into the game for Western Kentucky, and she gets the basketball. 1 minute left to go in this first quarter. Now Meade quickly, look how fast she gets the ball. And now she'll pass it to Blevins. Blevins back to Meade. Being guarded by Nia Boyd. She'll get it to Pitts, back to Meade. She'll drive in, good pass. Actually not a good pass, goes out of bounds. They're gonna call a foul on UTEP there, I believe. And I believe they're gonna call Montrose with the foul there, and that's exactly what it is. You'll see the fall right here on Montrose, and they're gonna call that, of course. Both teams are in the bonus now, so that means that Meade will go to the line to shoot two, Rachel.
Yeah, Meade with an 84% conversion rate at the free throw line, and she just does it right there again.
Averages 8.4 points a game, and we are all tied up at 19, and she gives Western Kentucky the lead. 40 seconds left to go. 41.6, excuse me. Now Montrose gets it to Nia Boyd, makes a move on Meade, gets past midcourt. And now driving gets it inside to Montrose. She's got Erin Wilson all by herself on the side if she can see her. Nia Boyd with a three, and she will miss it, the rebound. Actually, we're gonna have a foul before that. That should be on Western Kentucky. That will be on Aliyah Pitts as she fouled the Del Tack, so that's going to send Tack to the line, shooting a free throw. Del Tack goes to the line. The 6'1" forward from Garland, Texas, the sophomore, averages about 8 points a game. A 67% free throw shooter. And she misses the first one, so Western Kentucky keeps the lead for now. Second free throw is no good. That was short as well. Western Kentucky with a 1-point lead. They can take the last shot of this quarter as Meade has got the basketball. 10 seconds left to go. Being guarded by Boyd. Meade passes it. Meredith with it. She'll pass it back to Meade. 3 seconds left to go. She'll take a three, and she will nail it. Meade knocks the three, and that is how the first quarter will end. So after one, it is Western Kentucky with a 23-19 lead. We'll be back with the second quarter. This is ESPN Plus. And welcome back to the Don Haskins Center as we get ready to start the second quarter here. Rachel, on a very special day here at the Haskins Center.
Yeah, exactly right. National Girls and Women in Sports Day here at the Don. We just saw on the big screen a lot of different females being featured on the screen. A great moment for this UTEP program.
Tremendous history here with with women's athletics. Back to the action here. Western Kentucky with a 23-19 lead. Make that 26 as Maya Meredith makes a big three-pointer, and now Meredith has got 8 points in this game.
Yeah, and that now a 10-0 run for WKU here.
Yep, 10-0 run for Western Kentucky after the Miners had taken a lead, and now Boyd with the basketball passes it to Soleil Montrose. Passing it now to Wilson, drives baseline, loses the basketball, and believe we're going to get a foul there. It'll be on Macy Blevins, her first foul of this game. First team foul of this quarter for Western Kentucky, and the ball in your face. That's 3D. That's like, you know, if you go to the movies and you pay for that special 3D glasses, that's what that was like we just saw.
Without having to pay for the 3D glasses. Yep. So a win right there for all the viewers at home.
Now Jackson bringing the basketball. She does to Montrose. Montrose quickly double team. Now Wilson has got it. Resetting the offense, passing it to Jazion Jackson. Back to Wilson. Aggressive defense by Western Kentucky. Lipe trying to get it to Enrique, and she does. And now a pass. Three-pointer by Jackson, and she will miss it. The rebound, and we'll have a whistle. It'll go against Western Kentucky.
Yeah, and Enrique pretty slow to her feet there after that fall.
As you'll see the replay, there's a shot, the miss, and here comes the foul by Blevins. And Enrique gets up. Non-shooting foul. The Miners bring it in. Jackson gets it. Wilson misses the shot. She was right underneath the basket. And now Meade presses the basketball, and now it is Foster with it. She'll spin, take the shot. It is blocked by Enrique. Miners with it. Montrose with it.
And that's a massive block there for UTEP. As we mentioned, a 10-0 run from Western Kentucky. That now cuts it. Erin Wilson with the three-pointer from the corner, and that completely shifts the momentum in this game. A block turn to a three-pointer. 7
points for Erin Wilson. We're going to have a traveling violation here on Western Kentucky as the Miners try to come back here. Like you talked about, stopping that 10-0 run. 5-point lead for the Lady Toppers, 26-21. And now Jackson with the basketball. Gets it to Montrose. And now she'll drive, take the layup, and she will make it. Soleil Montrose, first points of the game. And it is a 5-0 run for the UTEP Miners right now.
Yeah, big play there from Montrose, the only freshman on the team for this UTEP Miner team.
Now Meade quickly gets the ball on the other side. She'll pass it to Foster. Foster gets it to Allen. Allen back to Meade. Miners playing man-to-man. And now Jackson has to cover. Foster takes the shot, no good. Rebounded by Enrique. So now the Miners with an opportunity to cut the lead. Jackson pushes the rock. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Western Kentucky. It'll be Miner basketball. Substitution as Hope Savory will check back in for Western Kentucky. For the Miners, Adele Tack will check in for Elena Enrique. Now Lipe to bring the basketball right in front of the bench of Western Kentucky. Gets it to Montrose. Now back to Lipe. Lipe, baseline pass, knocked out of bounds by Maya Meredith.
Yeah, just a smart let there from Erin Wilson. She saw it was coming towards her, but knew that Western Kentucky had been the last ones to touch it. So made sure of no errors there, just let it go out, and now they get to restart again.
7:28 left to go until halftime. The Miners trail by 3 to Western Kentucky, who is second in Conference USA. Long pass to Lipe, being guarded by Meade. She'll pass. Jackson, left wing three, and she will drain it. Jazion Jackson has got 9 points in this game, and we are all tied up at 26. The Miners on a big-time run. 7-0 run in the last minute, 13 seconds, and we have a turnover there as the Miners have the momentum, Rachel.
Yeah, it all goes back to that stop that UTEP made on defense. That converted the first three-pointer from the corner from Wilson, and from there they haven't looked back. Just momentum swings in this game.
Western Kentucky has not scored in over 2.5 minutes. And now the Miners trying to get the lead here as Jackson runs the offense. Lipe will pass it to Tack. Wilson, another three, no good. But the rebound by Jackson, she'll go up. Shot blocked, she'll go back up again, and she scores. Jazion Jackson now in double figures for the Miners. She's got 11 points. Meade quickly gets the basketball. Pass, three-pointer by Savory, and she misses it. The rebound goes to Adele Tech, and we have a foul. Foul will go against Maya Meredith. That's the third team foul for the Lady Toppers. The Miners have none. Couple of substitution as Acadia Hayes will check in for Western Kentucky. Teresa Faustino will check in as you see the foul there.
Yeah, and that was WKU's 7th attempt at a three-pointer here today. They averaged 28.9 three-point attempts per game. They love to shoot them.
They really
Doesn't necessarily mean they're great at converting on them, but they do find the three-point line a lot.
On the other end now, Adele Tack with it. Well, it's like they say, you live by the three, you die by the three.
Yeah, well, they're actually third in all of NCAA basketball in three-point shots taken per game. No three-pointers there from UTEP, instead just the bucket from Montrose underneath.
Now the Miners have a 4-point lead. They're on a 9-0 run, are the Miners, and they've taken the lead. Think about that. Western Kentucky had a 10-0 run. Now the Miners with a 9-0 run. They try to get it. Now we have a whistle there. It'll be on UTEP. It'll be on Jazion Jackson. You know, they say that basketball is a game of runs, and you see it every single basketball game, Rachel. They always have runs, and we're seeing right now by the Miners.
Yeah, and it's who can capitalize on those runs the most and continue to build off that momentum and make them last longer. And so far, UTEP doing a good job of making theirs last.
And now Western Kentucky with the basketball, taking the shot and being fouled by Montrose is, I believe, Acadia Hayes. And that'll be the second foul on Montrose for the Miners, and that's going to send Acadia Hayes to the line, shooting 2, averages about 10.2 points a game, a 73% free throw shooter. But before she does that, a substitution made as Elena Enrique will check in for the Miners to replace Soleil Montrose, who's got 2 fouls. And now here comes the first free throw by Hayes. She makes it, and it is now a 3-point game. Second free throw is up, and it is good. And now Hayes has got 4 points in this game. It's a 2-point ball game. Miners with a 2-point lead. 5:43 left to go until halftime. Nia Boyd with the basketball, being guarded by Acadia Hayes. They got to swing it the other way. They get it to Enrique. To Wilson, drives right side baseline. She makes a move, and she will score for the Miners. Erin Wilson with 9 points in this game. Actually, no. Did they call that on Wilson?
I think they called that a travel.
A traveling violation. So they called a travel. We're going to have to see the replay on that one, Rachel. And on the other side, we have Hayes with it. Passes it to Faustino. Faustino to Gilvin. And all pass, top of the key, down inside. There it is, outside Faustino. Going to take the shot, good pass, and Faustino converts, and we are all tied up at 30 here. First
and what
points.
A shot that was from underneath the net back over her head.
Yeah, tremendous shot by Faustino. And now the crowd comes to life here at the Don Haskins Center, trying to encourage the Miners. Adele Tack, top of the key, gets to Enrique down low, takes the shot, and Enrique will score, and the Miners retake the lead by 2. Quickly, Western Kentucky gets the ball. Faustino takes the shot. It is blocked by Tack. On the other side, Boyd now has it. Passes it. Lipe takes a 3, and she will miss it. The long rebound goes out of bounds. Let's see who touched it last. Actually, there's going to be a foul called, I believe, on Karis Ellen. As you see the 3 there. (32-30) is the score. We'll be right back. UTEP with the lead. You're watching ESPN+. And welcome back to the Don Haskins Center. The Miners with a 2-point lead as we resume play here. Nia Boyd trying to get it in. She gets it into Sabine Lipe. Now Lipe to Jazion Jackson. Lipe down to Orique. Orique passes it to Tack. Tack now gets the ball to Boyd, and we have a whistle. They're going to call a 3-second violation on Adele Tack there, so it's a turnover there, Rachel. And it'll be Western Kentucky basketball. 2-point lead for the Miners. 4 minutes, 14 seconds left to go until halftime. Now Acadia Hayes with the rock. Double team by the Miners, or she passes it. And now we're going to have a reach-in foul on the Miners. It'll go against Elena Orique. First foul for Orique today. 2-point game. Game good as advertised. Number 2 team in Conference USA versus the number 3 team in Conference USA. As Western Kentucky tries to bring the basketball. And a steal by the Miners. Jackson with it. She passes it to Boyd. Boyd goes up for the layup, and she will score, giving the Miners a 4-point lead. And now Jazion Jackson has got 13 points in this game.
Yeah, and that right there, the Boyd and Jackson connection. The two actually went to North Texas together for 2 seasons. Boyd went to Oklahoma State for a season, but then they both connected back here at UTEP, and they bring that familiarity right here.
Three-pointer missed by Western Kentucky. Now Boyd pushes the basketball. The Miners with a 4-point lead. Boyd, shot is taken and stolen by Western Kentucky, and now going up, making a move, spinning. Shot is blocked by Adele Tack as Gilvin tried to shoot there. And now Jackson will pass it to Wilson. Wilson into the paint, takes the shot, no good. Rebounded by Meredith, and she'll give it to Faustino. Fast action here at the Don Haskins Center. Couple of passes, quick passes. Great pass, cutting pass, and we're going to have a charging violation there by Meredith as she couldn't, as Lipe was set there.
Yeah, some massive stops here from UTEP on defense, but it just feels like they need to slow things down and control the tempo here. Coach Baker told me that was going to be a key to getting the win here, and just that those last couple sequences of play allowed WKU to really get in this game and have a few shots there.
3 minutes, 6 seconds left to go until halftime. Miners with a 4-point lead. Nia Boyd with the rock. She'll be guarded by Meade. And now she'll pass it to Adele Tack. Tack down inside. We're going to have a steal, and that'll be a foul, I believe, on Erin Wilson. They're still trying to decide who the foul is on, or should it be on Western Kentucky, or the officials today are Eric Koch, Timothy Rich, and Kelly Broomfield as they're discussing right now. Foul will go against Western Kentucky, Acadia Hayes. And that'll put the Miners into the bonus. 5th team foul by the Lady Toppers. Erin Wilson with 6 points today. First free throw is up for Wilson, and it is no good. Wilson, a 62% free throw shooter, the junior from Auburndale, Florida. Averages about 5 points a game, so she's already surpassed that by a point tonight. Well, this afternoon.
But hasn't converted on any of these free throws yet.
Yep. And she'll make the second one. So now Wilson was 7 points. Now the Miners just, yes, ma'am.
I was going to say, usually it's the commentator's curse there, but maybe we did the other way around there.
Yes. 5-point lead for the Miners. 2:42 left to go until halftime. Meade with the basketball. Passes it to Hayes. Back to Meade. Hayes thought about a 3. Almost loses the basketball. Now back to Meade, all alone for a 3 there. The defense broke down for the Miners, and going up for the rebound, no good. Rebound by Wilson. She'll give it to Lipe, to the cutting. Nia Boyd takes the shot, and she will miss it. Rebounded by Western Kentucky as Gilvin has got it, and now Meade quickly pushes the basketball for Western Kentucky. Passes a 3-pointer taken by Meredith. No good. The rebound goes to Lipe. Now Lipe pushes the basketball for the Miners. Gives it to Jackson. And now Jackson passes it to Gilvin. She didn't see her. Now Gilvin will go up for the layup, and she will miss it. Gets her rebound and misses it again. The rebound by Jazion Jackson for the Miners, and now Adele Tack with it. Fast-paced action, Tack with it. She'll give it to Boyd, and Boyd will wisely slow it down, Rachel.
Yeah, like we talked about before, tempo control key here for the Miners, and lucky to not be scored on off that steal right there.
And now Boyd will drive in and gets the shot blocked by Gilvin. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll be Miner basketball. Substitution for Western Kentucky as Hope Savori checks into the game. As you take a look right there, Jackson drives, and here is the block by Gilvin.
And you talk about that steal, Mando. Western Kentucky actually averaged 12.5 steals per game. They're first in Conference USA because of that. Already got 3 here tonight.
And Wilson adds another bucket, so now she's got 9 points in this game. The Miners have a 7-point lead. The Miners on a 7-0 run in the last 3 minutes. 1:07 left to go until halftime. The Miners, like I said, on a 7-0 run. Western Kentucky hasn't scored in over 340 minutes. Rebound. And a pass, errant pass by Adele Tack. The Miners do a good job on defense there. Actually, the pass was tipped, so that's my bad. Yes, Coach Greg Collins not liking how the team has been playing. They've been having scored in over 4 minutes and 13 seconds. Under a minute left to go until halftime. Niall Boyd with the basketball. The Miners with a 7-point lead. Jazion Jackson with it. Gets it to Tack. Tack has the ball. Actually, she'll get it. And now Jackson's got it. 3-pointer by Niall Boyd, and she drains it for the Miners. 10-point lead for the Miners.
And Boyd giving some talk to the WKU bench there after she let that shot go.
And Savori answers with a 3 of her own, back-to-back threes by both teams. Tremendous basketball here at the Don Haskins Center. 10 seconds left to go until the half. Boyd drives into the paint, takes the shot. No foul, no good. The ball goes out of bounds. It'll be UTEP basketball with 1.2 seconds left to go. The Miners with a 7-point lead. 1.2. Plenty of time to take a shot. They pass it to Wilson. Wilson goes up, and she scores at the buzzer! And the Miners score. They convert. 42-33 is the score. There's the replay. The Miners have a 42-33 lead as we're getting ready to send it to Benji Grajada, who will be talking to UTEP coach Kevin Baker in a couple of seconds. But once again, 42-33 is the score. And now we'll go to Benji Grajada, who is talking to UTEP head coach Kevin Baker. Take it away, Benji.
Thank you, Mando. Joining me now is UTEP head coach Kevin Baker. Coach, Thursday night defeating number 21 ranked Middle Tennessee, who of course is at the top of the conference. Now going up against the number 2 team in the conference, up by 9 at the half. How do you maintain that lead?
You know, I don't know. They're really good. Western Kentucky can score, man. They really can shoot it, and they get to the rim. It's going to be an exciting second half because they are a really good basketball team.
Jazion Jackson doing a little bit tonight with 11 points and 5 rebounds, and of course hit the game winner on Thursday night. How much of an impact does she bring to the floor?
Well, we got to have her, don't we? I mean, she's just a phenomenal player. She can really play, and she's playing well tonight, and it's going to be a great half. Let's hopefully she can put another half together like she put together there.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
And thank you so much, Benji. Once again, the Miners with a 42-33 score. We'll take a break. We'll be back after this break. Once again, 42-33. We're at halftime. This is ESPN+. Welcome back to the Don Haskins Center here from El Paso, Texas. It is halftime. The UTEP Miners are leading the Western Kentucky Lady Toppers by a score of 42-33 in a game as good as advertised, as we take a look at some of the stats here at the half, Rachel.
Yeah, Miners, as you mentioned, 42-33 over the Hilltoppers. Shooting from the three-point line a fair bit better than Western Kentucky, who we know love to shoot a three. They live and die by the three-pointer, but UTEP so far capitalizing off the threes a little bit more.
And what UTEP is doing right there, the big rebounding advantage, 26-11 in favor for the Miners, and you said the free throws as well, 57% compared to 62. But I think it's like you talked about it, Rachel. You live by the three, you die by the three, and a couple of big players for Western Kentucky, as you got Maya Meredith has got 8 points already in the game, and for the Miners, they got 2 players in double figures already. You got Erin Wilson, who we talked about, having a tremendous game, 11 points, and of course Jazzion Jackson using that momentum she had from this past Thursday. She's got 11 points as well in this first half for the Miners. The Miners and Hilltoppers, a battle of 2 versus 3 in Conference USA play here as we get ready. As we get ready to take a look at the standings, as we're talking about that, of course, the number 1 team, of course, is Middle Tennessee, who had their first loss on Thursday, Rachel, against the UTEP Miners, and then we have Western Kentucky and UTEP.
Yeah, UTEP snapping a 16-game win streak from Middle Tennessee to get that win there on Thursday night. And you talk about for this UTEP program how big that win was, but imagine if they get this win here, knocking off the number 1 and 2 teams in Conference USA in the span of less than 48 hours. That would just be absolutely massive for this UTEP minor program.
And trailing the Miners are the Rice Owls, and Rice has the Miners number this year. They swept the Miners both times they played in Conference USA. And now FIU there in 5th place, as you see that. And then North, you got Charlotte, North Texas, Florida Atlantic, Louisiana Tech, UTSA, and UAB, as both teams get ready for the Conference USA tournament in March, as we're getting ready to send it to Benji, who is going to talk to Western Kentucky Lady Topper coach Greg Collins. So let's toss it off to Benji Grajala. Go ahead, Benji.
Thank you, Mondo. Now I'm standing next to Western Kentucky head coach Greg Collins. Coach, down by 9 at the half, how do you cut this deficit?
Well, we've got to do a better job on the boards. They're a lot bigger than we are. They're a great rebounding team. They changed to a zone a little bit. We missed some layups. So there's a few things that we didn't do well. Credit goes to them for doing a great job on the boards. They're physical. We've got to be first to that ball.
How do you force more turnovers?
Well, we've got to keep our defensive pressure up. That helps when you score. When you make a layup, you can get in your press. When you miss layups, it's hard to get back in your press. So we went 1 for 9 from the 2 in that second quarter, so it's hard for us to get back in that pressure defense.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
This is Benjamin reporting for ESPN. Back to you, Mondo and Rachel.
All right, thanks, Benji. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for joining us here on ESPN Plus. Rachel, should be a great second half here.
Yeah, definitely. You heard Coach Collins there talk about the rebounds. That's usually an area that WKU capitalize on, especially on the offensive side of the ball, just being able to extend those plays and get more shots off. But UTEP, as he mentioned, out-muscling them in that area. That'll be key for both teams coming into the second half.
And the big question will be, can the Miners maintain this pace of play in the second half? We'll find out. Thank you so much for joining us on ESPN Plus. Elena Enrique with the basketball for the Miners. Jackson now with it. Passes to Avery Krause. Is going to take a 3. She will miss it. Krause is yet to score today. And there the Lady Toppers score.
Yeah, Krause only playing 5 minutes so far today, a real rarity for her in this UTEP minor team. But like we mentioned, Nia Boyd back in the team, helping alleviate that a little bit.
3-pointer taken and missed. As Western Kentucky misses. The Miners scored a bucket, by the way, so it's now an 11-point lead, 44-33. It was Erin Wilson once again. Now she's got 13 points in this game. On the other side, Wilson now being double-teamed by Western Kentucky, loses the basketball, and now Meredith has got it. She'll pass it, and in for the layup will be Acadia Hayes.
Yeah, that's probably one of the easiest layups Hayes will ever have in her career. Just opened up for her.
On the other end, Elena Enrique. So both teams trading buckets, and Coach Collins is quickly going to call a timeout. It'll be a full timeout for Western Kentucky. So we'll take a break as well. The UTEP Miners have a 46-35 lead over Western Kentucky. This is college basketball on ESPN+. Welcome back to the Don Haskins Center. 8:51 left to go in this third quarter. Coach Collins not happy with what he saw, Rachel, so that's why he took the quick timeout.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Miners up 46-35 early in the third quarter here, and they're doing it in front of the largest attendance in the Baker era, 1,403 people in the crowd here today. It's actually the largest crowd since February 25th of 2017. I just looked around, even saw UTEP quarterback Gavin Hardison in the house. That's how big things are happening for this Miner team right now.
And hopefully the Miners are able to give themselves a victory and send the fans home happy, but they got to win this one first, as Western Kentucky has just scored 46-37, and a turnover by the Miners as the Jackson pass went out of bounds. A little bit of confusion there. Coach Baker not happy with that. Kadia Hayes now with the basketball. She'll pass it to Meade, being guarded by Wilson. She thought about a three, and now the three is taken, and it is missed. Rebound goes to Jazzion Jackson. Now Jackson will push the basketball for the Miners. Being guarded by Hayes. And now we're going to have a foul on Acadia Hayes. That'll be her third foul. Substitution made as Hope Savori will check in for Hayes because she's got those 3 fouls, Rachel.
Yeah, big loss there if Hayes gets another foul and doesn't play too many more minutes tonight. She is one of the team's leading scorer here.
And a bad pass on the inbounds play, and Hope Savori makes UTEP pay for that. And Savori now has 8 points, 4-0 run for Western Kentucky. 46-39, can Enrique convert for the Miners? She is fouled and one for UTEP. Elena Enrique with 8 points in this game.
Yeah, and that got a lot of the crowd in the Don here on their feet.
Enrique there with the layup, and the foul will be called on Jalen Foster, her second. One of the best free throw shooters the Miners have got. That's Elena Enrique, 80%. First free throw is no good. And now Pitts with the rebound, and now Western Kentucky, who trails 48-39, three-pointer taken and made by Meade. 10 points for Meade. And now the Miners try to answer. It's a 6-point lead for the Miners now. Western Kentucky has outscored UTEP 9-6 in this quarter so far. Boyd with it, passes it to Enrique. Enrique, Avery Krause, pump fakes. Now to Enrique. Enrique's going to take the shot, and she will drain it. Back-to-back buckets by Elena Enrique. Now she's in double figures. She's got 10 points.
Yeah, and you look at Enrique there, and just that shot from that area of the court. She was actually a guard her entire career in Sweden, which is why making shots like that are just so easy for her.
And now the pass is going to have to be picked up by Western Kentucky. That's a backcourt violation, so good job by the UTEP defense. Elena Enrique with 10 points. She had a career-high 20 points this past Thursday against Western Kentucky.
Yeah, and you know, it actually coincides with her parents being in town watching her for the first time in a UTEP uniform. She said having them here has given her a boost. She's always known she had the skill, but she really feels like it's coming into fruition right now. And I actually talked to Coach Baker about that yesterday, and he said, heck, if it's because her parents are here, he's happy to have her move in tomorrow and have them stay in his house if that's the reason why she's playing so good.
And as you said, that Avery Cross scored for the Miners, and the Miners now have a 10-point lead, 52-42 as they scramble for the basketball. Faustino passes it all alone for 3 and missing it. The rebound goes to Jazzy Allen Jackson. Savory missed it. And now here comes the trap on Jackson. Jackson will get it to Nia Boyd. The Miners with a 10-point lead, the largest of the game for UTEP. And now, three-pointer by Avery Krause. Misses it. The rebound goes to Nia Boyd. Boyd will drive. Now Krause and another opportunity. Passes to Nia Boyd. Nia Boyd will take a 3. Misses it. The rebound goes to Hope Savory. And now it'll be Meredith with the layup. And now Meredith is in double figures with 12 points. 8-point lead for the Miners. Adele Tack with it, trying to get it to Enrique. Enrique actually opens up the lane, underneath layup by Adele Tack. And it's back to a 10-point lead for the Miners. And we have a whistle on the floor. Timeout is called by Coach Baker. It'll be a full timeout. Check it, a 30-second timeout. 10 points over Western Kentucky, 54-44. And what a great job, Rachel, by this UTEP Miners squad to come off that second half.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And you talk about Adele Tack just going in there. This is her best college season to date this year, posting 7 double-figure scoring games. I talked to Baker about her improvement and where it's come from. He said a lot of it has to do with her confidence levels because of when she first got to UTEP, she had not played for an entire year at TCU, so she spent a lot of last season gaining her confidence back and learning the system. Baker said now you're seeing a player that has gained so much of her confidence back. He said sometimes she'll revert back to her insecurity she gained at TCU, and he has to tell her to back herself and shoot the ball, and he tells her there's nothing you can't do out there, just go and don't worry if you miss a shot, and she's been doing that all game long tonight.
The great thing about Adele Tack for the Miners, when she was a freshman, she knew whenever she got in there, she was aggressive, and you can see how she has progressed from last year to this year. You talk about the confidence there. In every single game, she's been gaining confidence, and she didn't start the first 2 games, but after that, she's been a constant starter for the UTEP Miners, and she's been one of the reasons why this team has been successful. And one of the reasons people need to look at this Miner team, they've got a bunch of players injured. Some of their best players have not been playing this season. For example, Maury Petrie. Then they have a couple of other players like Eliana Cabral who have not been able to play. So the Miners have been able to have this success this year with the injuries they've sustained.
Yeah, a lot of games you're seeing. The Middle Tennessee game, today's game, they just had 10 players available to choose from, and a lot of them not usually in their starting rotation. We've already seen today them kind of lean on some other players to try and help the void of some of these other players. We've noticed that Avery Krause hasn't played a lot of minutes today. I assume a lot of that is because of how much she played against Middle Tennessee and how much she's been playing all season long.
I would think the thought process there, Rachel, would be that maybe they're trying to save her legs until the fourth quarter when they might need her. So you look at the stats. So UTEP shooting 52% in the game. For Western Kentucky, they are shooting 46%. 3-point situation. You talked about it. Western Kentucky loves to shoot the 3. They're 5 out of 15 there, and they're at 63%, but the Miners are at 50%. And so you see the situation there, Rachel.
Yeah, definitely interesting to see how this one plays out as we get ready to restart out of the timeout. 5:04 left in the third quarter.
As we get ready to resume here, Western Kentucky basketball. 5 minutes left to go in this third quarter. Thanks so much for joining us on ESPN Plus as Hope Savory passes it to Meredith, and now she swings it to Foster, drives into the paint. Left-handed shot, no good. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll be Miner basketball. And Coach Collins talking to the official. He felt that there's a foul there, but it was not called. As Enrique brings in the basketball for the Miners, gets it back after Nia Boyd gave it to her. And now the press by Western Kentucky. Enrique with it now. Nia Boyd will set up the offense for the Miners here. Top of the key. Passes it to Adele Tech. We just talked about Tech. Almost loses the basketball. Gets to Kraus. Sabine Lipe, top of the court. Three-pointer by Sabine Lipe. Top of the key three.
That's her second three-pointer of the game, and she's made at least one triple in 9 out of her last 10 games off the bench. Make it 2 today for her in this one.
On the other side, we're going to have a foul on Sabine Lipe. As you'll see the foul right there by Lipe. That big three gave the Miners a 13-point lead. Now the biggest lead for the Miners by far. And now driving is Meredith. Shot blocked by Enrique. And now Nia Boyd has got the basketball. Gets it past midcourt. Crowd wanted a foul, didn't get it. Now Kraus has it. Another foul now called. Lipe, can she do it again? And she does!
Third three of the game for Sabine Lipe, and the crowd is loud in the Don.
Back-to-back threes by Sabine Lipe. 16-point lead for the Miners with 3:31 left to go in this third quarter. Savori tries to answer with a three of her own, and she does! Now Savori with 11 points. All her points have coming up three-pointers as well, Rachel. Western Kentucky with 3 players in double figures. The Miners with 3 players in double figures as well. Lipe pump fakes, drives, passes. Great pass to Enrique, and Enrique scores. Great assist by Sabine Lipe, who's been on fire in the past couple of minutes for the UTEP Miners. 62-47 is the lead. Meade will take a top of the key three. No good. Rebounded by Adele Tech. And now Jackson pushes the basketball. Excuse me, Nia Boyd pushes the basketball. Boyd steps back, resets the offense for the Miners. Trying to get it to Tech. Instead, she'll get it to Lipe. And now Lipe will be fouled by Karis Ellen.
A big key for the Miners here. They're up 62-47. They've had 5 straight games, and 8 of the last 9 decided by single digits or less. In that stretch, they've done well. They've won the majority of those games, more than 50%. But to go here today and to win a game by more than single digits against the number 2 team.
And Lipe does it again! 3 3-pointers by Sabine Lipe in a row. Western Kentucky tries to answer, and they do! Blevins with the 3. Wow.
The shots are firing here today.
Sabine Lipe with the 3. Western Kentucky answers. And now down to Enrique. And she will score. So the team trading buckets. Enrique with 14 points for the Miners. Now Western Kentucky will try to respond. Meade with the basketball, drives into the paint, takes the shot, no good. The rebound goes to Lipe for the Miners, passes it to Avery Kraus, and Kraus will be called with a charging violation. They're gonna say that Foster was set. And that will be the 3rd foul on Kraus. As you see. I know, but it is what it is, Rachel.
Yeah, we don't make the call, so it is what it is. That's a good way of putting it.
Obviously, the crowd here at the Haskins Center not happy. Hope Savori makes the move, drives into the paint, passes it, low pass. That would have been a 3-pointer opportunity, but the pass was too low for Pitts. And now Meade with it, gets it to Pitts. Pitts is going to turn around, jumper, no good. The rebound will go to Adele Tech. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll still be Miner basketball.
UTEP up 17 points, as I think you were just about to say, their biggest lead of the game. A massive effort here from this UTEP minor team to turn around off of the biggest win in the Baker era and come out here and play a great Western Kentucky team like this.
Now Montrose gets the ball, quickly a trap, but Jackson breaks that. Now the Miners have got numbers. Jackson just drive herself, and she will score for UTEP. Jazzion Jackson with 13 points in this game for the Miners. 35 seconds left to go. Faustino passes it to Foster, to Blevins. Blevins back to Foster. And now Faustino has got it. Great defense by the Miners there. Savori has it. Three-pointer by Savori, and this time she misses it. The rebound goes to Deltac. The Miners have the opportunity to take the last shot of this third quarter. 10 seconds left to go. They've got to push it. Jackson has it. Being guarded by Blevins. Passes it. Deltac. Montrose at the buzzer. No good, and that is how the third quarter will end. So after 3, the UTEP Miners have a 69-50 lead over the Western Kentucky Lady Toppers. We'll take a break. The fourth quarter is coming up right here on ESPN+. Welcome back to the Don Haskins Center. Montalvina along with Rachel Phillips as the UTEP Miners have a 19-point lead, Rachel, 69-50 over Western Kentucky.
Yeah, the Miners are shooting it well, 58% from the floor here today for UTEP.
An impressive performance by the Miners. Can they keep it up for 10 more minutes? Three-pointer made for Western Kentucky to start this fourth quarter.
Yeah, it's going to be a big mentality thing here for UTEP. I mean, you go into the fourth quarter up 19 points.
And a big block by Jazzion Jackson. Coach Collins wanted a foul. The ball goes out of bounds. It'll be Miner basketball. As you talked about, Rachel, you expect for Western Kentucky to make a push. They are the second ranked team in Conference USA, second place, I would say. So you know they're going to try to make a push.
Yeah, and this is also a really unfamiliar position for UTEP to be in recent weeks. Usually these games are really tight, really close, like what we saw on Thursday night. But now UTEP with a lead, and a big lead at that. Can they control it and keep within themselves mentally and go out here and keep the pressure on Western Kentucky?
And that's a good point, because when they made that Florida trip, as everybody in Conference USA has to do, they had to come back various times to compete in those games. And now we have another turnover there by the Miners as Boyd has a turnover.
Yeah, if these turnovers keep happening this quickly at the start of this fourth quarter, I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Baker calls a timeout soon to kind of reset and regroup his team.
Faustino with the basketball gets it to Hope Savori. Savori will drive, and she's going to be fouled by Adele Tack. And that'll be Tack's first foul. That's the one thing you got to look at, Rachel, the foul situations here. Substitution made as Avery Krause will replace. Faustino quickly takes a three. Rebound goes to Adele Tack. And now the Miners push the basketball. Boyd passes it to Jackson. A little bit too strong there. Miners a little bit uneasy right now. They need to settle down. That's what Coach Baker is telling the team, Rachel.
Yeah, they do need to settle down, but you got to remember they still have a nice cushion here, a 16-point lead underneath their belt.
Miners have yet to score in this quarter. Faustino drives, shoots, and makes it. Faustino now 7.9 points in this game for the Lady Toppers. Boyd Does not go. And now Western Kentucky on a 5-0 run to start this quarter. They pass to Hope Savory, top of the key. Pass, and they're going to get a reach-in foul on Lipe. That'll be Lipe's third foul. Substitution as Aaron Wilson. As you can sense, Rachel, the crowd kind of feels that maybe Western Kentucky trying to make that push.
Yeah, I mean, and they need to make a push if they are any hope of winning this game. Still down 14, even though they are on the 7-0 run now.
Make that, and another and one opportunity there for Western Kentucky. As Hope Savory will go to the line after she makes that layup. She's got 13 points in this game. And as you talked about, 7-0 run, 8-0 run for Western Kentucky. And it is all of a sudden a 12-point lead. Let's check that 11-point lead for the Miners. Boyd with the basketball. Passes it. Lipe almost stolen, and there is a steal there. And now Savory will be all alone. And the shot is blocked by Nia Boyd, and that brings the crowd at the Haskins Center to their feet.
What a massive play from Nia Boyd there. The momentum all with Western Kentucky, and she comes up with a massive block.
As you see the shot block there. Miners have not scored in this quarter. 8 unanswered points by Western Kentucky.
Looks like the ground is a little slippery right at the key there in the paint.
Remember, the Miners had a 19-point lead when this quarter started. We talked about game of runs. Western Kentucky on an 8-0 run. Boyd with the basketball now. Here comes the trap. Montrose with it, almost traveled. And now passing it to Lipe. Lipe to Boyd. Gets the screen, passes it. Driving in is Lipe, almost loses control. Nia Boyd is going to take a three for the Miners, and she will miss it, but we have a foul.
And even though they didn't score off that play necessarily, I think it was a much better offensive moment for the Miners. Just slowed things down, got their composure, found an open and clean shot, just didn't make it clean.
Foul is on Meredith, first team foul for Western Kentucky, and you're right, Rachel, a little bit more composed there with that possession for the Miners. As they've seen a 19-point lead go all the way down to an 11-point lead. As we have the benches going, the players going to the sides, as the officials will check to see the replay. I'm assuming, Rachel, they're going to try to see who the foul was on.
Good moment, though, for both coaches to kind of reset their group. As we mentioned, UTEP still not able to score out of this fourth quarter. Western Kentucky on a great run now. So for Coach Collins, it's let's keep doing much of the same and get it back. For Coach Baker, it's, okay, guys, let's get back to what we were doing in the third quarter, because that was working for us.
They need to settle down, do the Miners. As you saw the replay there, I'm assuming they're checking to see who the foul was on. Once again, the officials today are Eric Koch, Timothy Rich, and Kelly Bromfield. As it looks like they've come to the to their decision there, Rachel. Nonetheless, it'll still be Miner basketball. Boyd passes it. Another pass gets it back. 7:33 left to go in this game. Boyd passes it. Aaron Wilson is going to take the shot, and she will miss it. The rebound will go to Foster. And now Hope Savory, long pass, and able to convert is Aliyah Pitts. 10-0 run for Western Kentucky. Now the Miners' 19-point lead is down to 9.
Yeah, desperate for a bucket here too. Like you said, still a 9-point lead, but just a bucket to get the momentum back to even would be massive.
They're going to call a foul on Hope Savory, her first foul. Substitution made as Meade will check back in. And you're right now UTEP, if you're UTEP, you kind of have to slow it down. You've given up 10 points. Hope Savory has got 14 points in this game as she takes a seat for Western Kentucky. Now here's the pass to Jackson. Jackson to Boyd. And now the ball goes out of bounds. They're going to call a foul. That'll be the third foul on Western Kentucky, third team foul there. As the Miners try to bring the basketball, they do. Wilson has got it. Passes it to Boyd. Miners have yet to score in this quarter. They're still up by 9. They've had a 19-point lead go down. Enrique takes the shot, no good, gets her rebound. And she gets it to Jackson. Jackson will reset the offense for the Miners. Jackson passes it to Aaron Wilson. Wilson to Boyd. Steps back, takes a shot. The free throw line does not go in. Montrose gets the rebound. Takes the shot, no good. Enrique with it. Ball goes out of bounds. And I believe it'll be Miner basketball as Adele Tack will check into the game as the Miners have come out flat in this quarter, Rachel.
Yeah, very flat. Also looking really tight with their shots. A lot of them falling short and probably just tired as well. I mean, emotionally, they had a massive game Thursday, and they go into fourth quarter up 19 points, probably easing off the brakes a little, as you see a steal there from Western Kentucky, and this is not what the Miners wanted in this fourth quarter.
Pump fake, and now Faustino thought about a 3. Meade takes the 3, and she makes it off the bank. It is a 13-0 run for Western Kentucky, and it is a 6-point lead for the Miners. Now the Miners desperately need a bucket. Niall Boyd passes it. Jackson will drive, and she will be fouled. Check that. They're going to call. They call a traveling violation there. Is that what they did? I'm assuming. And now Western Kentucky pushing the basketball. 13-0 run. Faustino, great ball movement by Western Kentucky. Three-pointer, and it is no good. And Adele Tack cannot hold on to the ball, goes out of bounds. Miners are flustered right now, Rachel.
Yeah, certainly, and like we said, they just need to get, it feels like if they get one bucket, everything will kind of settle down again, but as for now, turnovers, crucial, what WKU shooting threes, everything that the Miners don't want to be doing, they're doing.
Western Kentucky in the middle of a 13-0 run. Miners have not scored in this quarter. Faustino for 3, and she will miss it. The rebound goes to Meade. Under 5 minutes left to go in this game. Meade will reset the offense for Western Kentucky. Passes it. Foster inside. Now outside. Pitts passes it. Three-pointer taken and made by Western Kentucky. A 16-0 run for Western Kentucky. 4.5 left to go in this game. The Miners clinging to a 3-point lead. And now we're going to have a foul called. But how about Western Kentucky? 16 straight points to start this quarter. Unbelievable.
the definition of down but not out. Western Kentucky going into the fourth quarter down 19 and then somehow have caught up and just 3 points down.
We'll take a break. We'll be back. 3-point lead for the Miners. This is college basketball on ESPN+. Welcome back to the Dawn Haskins Center. Mondo Medina along with Rachel Phillips as Western Kentucky is in the middle of a 16-0 run, Rachel.
Yeah, Miners went into this fourth quarter up 19, now just up by 3, desperate for a bucket here to swing the momentum back the other way.
They have not scored in this quarter. To say they desperately need a bucket is an understatement. And the rebound goes to Jazzion Jackson there after the Boyd miss. And now Jackson will reset the offense for the Miners. Gets it to Avery Krause. Krause, Adele Tack, pump fakes, drives, baseline shot, and she cannot score. And Faustino gets the ball, passes it to Mead, and now Mead passes it to Faustino, takes a 3, and she misses it, the rebound. Actually, we're going to have a foul called on Western Kentucky, the rebound. That should go on Blevins, and it does. That should be the 4th foul on Blevins. And now the Miners are in the bonus there, Rachel, looking for their first points of this quarter.
I think they'll take it off the free throw line. Any points right now for the Miners are big and good and could be the thing that they need to shift things around a little here.
Jazzion Jackson has got 13 points today. First free throw is up, and it is good. And those are the first points for the Miners. Second free throw is good as well. Jazzion Jackson's got 15 points. And now the Miners have a 5-point lead. Much needed points for UTEP if you're a UTEP fan.
And how clutch is Jazzion Jackson? We saw the 3-point winner from her on Thursday, and then just clutch again with the free throws for the Miners' first points in this fourth quarter.
Mead misses a 3-pointer, but she gets the ball back now. 3:17 left to go in this game. Blevins with it to Mead, being guarded by Avery Krause. Gets it to Foster. Foster takes the shot, no good. The rebound goes to Jackson and the Miners. And now confusion, the ball is last touched by Jackson. Good job by Western Kentucky to force that to go out of bounds.
Yeah, Jackson just swarmed here.
That was Mead there and touched her knee, I believe. 3:01 left to go. The Miners clinging to a 5-point lead. Inbounds pass to Savory, and Savory scores. And now Hope Savory has got 16 points in this game to lead all scorers. 3-point lead for the Miners. Krause to Nia Boyd. Nia Boyd will slow it down here. Miners have only scored 2 points in this quarter. Krause now with it. She'll drive, goes back, and we're going to have a reach-in foul on Pitts. And those fouls are big, Rachel, because it's giving Miners free opportunities to score points.
Yeah, massive for UTEP. I mean, we haven't seen them be able to score from the field yet in this quarter. So the fact that they're able to go to the line now a lot more is great. Avery Krause is a 78% free throw shooter, and she just showed that right there.
Makes the first one, and this is where when your coach makes you shoot free throws, when you practice, this is when it comes to play. And she misses the second one. So the Miners now with a 4-point lead, 72-68. 2:25 left to go. We got a good one here from the Dawn Haskins Center. Hope Savory with the basketball. Passes it to Meredith. She's going to take a 3, and Savory misses it. The rebound goes to Western Kentucky, and they will reset the offense. Mead with it, top of the key, being guarded by Boyd, makes the move. 4 seconds left to go in the shot clock. 3-pointer taken, and made by Aliyah Pitts. And it is a 1-point lead for the Miners, 72-71, and we have a whistle. I think they're gonna they're gonna try to see if that's a 3-pointer. I guess they're gonna try to see if,
Looked like her foot was on the line there.
as we see the replay,
Oh no,
that's
not from
a
that
three.
angle. Nice.
That is a great camera shot from our production crew there. So that'll be a 3-pointer. So Western Kentucky 21-3 run in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, and that's their 11th three-pointer of the game out of 29. They averaged 28.9 three-point attempts, and they have surpassed that here today. And, well, it's working for them. A lot of threes in this fourth quarter.
Under 2 minutes left to go. They have confirmed it is a 3-pointer. The Miners outscored 21-3 in this fourth quarter. To say they have gone ice cold is an understatement. They have yet to score a field goal. 3 points have come off free throws. As Enrique brings in the basketball. There's a pressure by Western Kentucky. Jackson with the basketball. She pushes it. Now Enrique with it. Back to Jackson. 1 point lead for UTEP. Can they hold on? They had a 19-point lead to start this quarter. Boyd with it. Passes it to Enrique. To Kraus. Kraus makes a move. She drives. Ball's knocked out of bounds, but there's 5 seconds left to go on the shot clock. .133 left to go. Kraus gets the ball to Enrique. Enrique drives baseline, passes it, and it is a shot clock violation. Good defense by Western Kentucky, and Western Kentucky has the opportunity to take the lead on this possession.
Yeah, UTEP just struggling here. Fans in the Don getting off their seats. They know they need to get a stop here.
125, the crowd comes to life. All 1,400 of them. Treated to a classic here between Western Kentucky and the UTEP Miners. Pitts with it. 1:10 left to go. Now Meade. She'll drive. Good defense by Boyd. Good pass by Meade. Shot taken, no good. The rebound goes to Enrique. And now Enrique trying to get rid of it. Kraus has it. Under a minute left to go. 51 seconds left to go in this game. And the officials are going to review to see who touched this ball last, Rachel.
Yep, and we're under a minute in this contest.
They're going to have to reset the clock because the clock was running. (72-71). Western Kentucky, 21 points in this quarter. As here we have the replay. It hit Krause's leg, so that should be Western Kentucky ball with 36 seconds left to go.
I think we'll probably see, as you mentioned, a little more time put back on that clock because it was running. It was running for a while there, even after the ball went out. Coach Baker now just having to settle his team down. I'm sure in all of their heads, they know they haven't made a shot from the floor that has gone in this fourth quarter other than those free throws. And it's tense. They're tight.
It is very tense, very tight for the Miners now coming off that big victory over Middle Tennessee on Thursday night. They had a 19-point lead to start this quarter, and they have yet to score a field goal in the fourth. And that's why Western Kentucky has scored 21 points in this quarter. The Miners have only scored 3 points, all of them coming from the free throw line. And they've yet to add more points, more time on the clock. That's one thing they're going to have to look at.
This is certainly what we expected from this game, that the number 2 and number 3 teams in Conference USA going head-to-head. When UTEP took that 19-point lead, I think everyone in here was like, wow, this team has came to play yet again. But as we've seen, Western Kentucky going on that massive run to start the fourth quarter.
Tremendous run by Western Kentucky. Tremendous defense played by Western Kentucky. I don't think I've ever seen a game where a team has not scored a field goal in one quarter. And now they go ahead.
If you're a Miner fan, I'm sure you're hoping that's not the case
Yes.
as we close out this game.
Once again, the replay there. The ball went off Avery Krause. So it'll be Western Kentucky ball, but now what they're looking at, they're looking to see how much time they're going to add to the clock. They need to reset the clock. They got to give more time on this game clock. And there it goes. It goes 50.6 seconds is what they've added back to the clock, which I'm sure both teams are very happy with to get extra time. 50.6 seconds left to go. Western Kentucky can take the lead on this possession. Can they come back after being down 19 points in this quarter? The ball is kicked out of bounds. It'll be Western Kentucky basketball. 41 seconds left to go in this game.
And pretty well every person in the Don Haskins Center is on their feet for this one.
Meade brings it in. Savory loses the basketball out of bounds yet again. It'll be Western Kentucky basketball again. No time expired on that play. So now they're going to call a timeout, I believe. You see the ball was off Jackson. 72-71 is the score. 39.7 seconds left to go in this game. The big story is, Rachel, the Miners had a 19-point lead to start this quarter, and Western Kentucky has outscored the Miners 21-3. The Miners have not scored a field goal in this quarter, all the points coming off the free throw line.
I'm getting flashbacks to Thursday night.
Yes.
There was 44.5 seconds left on the clock, and Middle Tennessee had the ball. 39.7 seconds left on the clock. WKU have the ball. What can they do? What are we going to see play out in these final 40 seconds and less?
As you see the stats there, basically even from the three-point line, and the Hilltoppers doing better from the free throw line, but the bottom line is that the Miners have gone ice cold in this quarter. When you look at the situation there, I'm sure Coach Baker is trying to amp up the team there, you know. Good one here from the Don Haskins Center. Great basketball.
If it comes down to it, who are you putting the ball, whose hands are you putting the ball in for UTEP?
Well, right now, if I'm for UTEP, I'm going to give it either to Jazion Jackson or to Nia Boyd. If I'm UTEP, if I'm Western Kentucky, I'm going to give it to Hope Savory. She's got 16 points today, or even Meade. And that's who I would give it to. And we're going to find out here because it'll be Western Kentucky basketball with 40.1 seconds left to go. And now they bring it in. Meredith with it. They get inside. And it is made by Jalen Foster, and they foul. And Western Kentucky has come back from 19 points down, and they've taken a 1-point lead on the UTEP Miners. 33.5 seconds left to go. Rebound is no good. And quickly a timeout is called by Coach Kevin Baker, a 30-second timeout. And the Miners will be able to bring in the ball from their side of the court. Unbelievable, Rachel. 19-point lead. Western Kentucky has done a tremendous job, and they've come back, and now they lead by 1 point.
And the momentum is all with Western Kentucky right now. That massive run to start the fourth quarter. As we've mentioned time and time again these last few minutes, UTEP still have not made a field goal in this fourth quarter. They will probably need to do that here if they are to go away with the win here today, unless, of course, they do get fouled. But I'm sure Western Kentucky will be trying to avoid that at all costs.
A 23-3 quarter for Western Kentucky. 32.5 seconds. The Miners now trail by 1. No need to foul if you're Western Kentucky. Let's see what the Miners do, and Coach Collins will take a timeout, for Western Kentucky, as he just wanted to see what the Miners were going to do, Rachel.
Yeah, that's the beauty when you manage your timeouts well. Western Kentucky still with another 2 left to go in this fourth quarter. So this could be a very slow 32.5 seconds left in this game.
And for Western Kentucky, Hope Savory has got 16 points in this game. She averages about 8.5, so she has doubled that. And then you have Alexis Mead with 13. Maya Meredith with 12 for the Miners. Elena Enriquez got 14. Erin Wilson's got 13. Jazion Jackson has got 15. Miners have 4 players in double figures, but the problem is they went ice cold in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, the only 2 players to have scored in this fourth quarter, Jazion Jackson and Avery Krause, but both those coming off fouls.
We saw some Miner magic on Thursday night. Will we see it again here at the Don Haskins Center? Krause gets it to Enrique. Enrique to Boyd. Under 30 seconds left to go. Enrique will drive, and she is fouled. Enrique will go to the line to 2 very big free throws for the Miners.
Enrique is 80% from the stripe coming into this game, so for the Miners, for someone to get fouled, it's a good thing that it's her.
Miners' only points this quarter have come from the free throw line. Substitution made as Erin Wilson will check in for Adele Tack. 2 biggest free throws coming up for UTEP here for Enrique. And she makes the free throw, and we are tied in this game. Can Enrique give the Miners a 1-point lead? And she does. The Miners lead by 1. We're going to have a timeout called by Western Kentucky coach Greg Collins. It'll be a 30-second timeout. The Miners have 5 points in this quarter, Rachel. They've all come from the free throw line, and they have a 1-point lead.
Is it tense in here, or is it just me? I don't know how to feel right now.
It
wow.
is a little bit tense. And this crowd of over 1,400 here in the Don Haskins Center has been treated to a tremendous basketball game.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, just the interesting thing, you go back to Thursday, this is a really similar situation that the Miners find themselves in again. They were able to get the job done there. Western Kentucky off a 3-game win streak right now, looking for their 4th straight in a row. They're going to have to do something here because they're down a point with 24.5 seconds left in this contest.
Western Kentucky can take the last shot of this game. The Miners have a foul to give, by the way. Let me point that out there. Actually, they do not. If they foul, it's a free throw. Savoy to bring it in. Mead with it. Passes it to Foster. Foster, Meredith is going to take a 3, and she makes it! Maya Meredith makes a big 3, and Western Kentucky has a 2-point lead with 15.8 seconds left to go in this game. There you see the replay. There's the 3, it is in, nothing but money for Meredith, and Western Kentucky has a 2-point lead with 15.8 seconds left to go. Wow.
Western Kentucky with 12 made 3-pointers here today. UTEP, though, will get the ball back here, and they'll have a chance to tie things up with a 2-pointer, win the game with a 3-pointer. 15.8 seconds left in this contest now.
And that's the thing you got to look at if you're the Miners. You do not have to take the 3-pointer. You can tie the game with a 2, send the game into overtime. But there you see it one more time. Top of the key 3 by Meredith, and she nails it. It's what we saw on Thursday night here for the Miners, except it's the opposite. It was UTEP scoring on Middle Tennessee. Western Kentucky's outscored the Miners 26-5 in this quarter. And now, big possession coming up for the UTEP Miners. 15.8 seconds. I see you got some goosebumps going on, Rachel. I see that.
It's cold in here. That's why. That's all. That's the only reason.
Here we go. Can the Miners tie this game? Boyd with the basketball. 10 seconds left to go. Wilson drives, and she will be fouled. Blocking foul. Foul will be on Hope Savory. And now Aaron Wilson will go to the line to shoot 2 free throws for the Miners. 8.5 seconds left to go. Wilson has got 13 points in this game. 69% free throw shooter. Makes the first free throw. 16 points for 14 points for Aaron Wilson, excuse me. Can she tie this game up? And she does not. Western Kentucky, the Miners have to foul. And they do. Jazzion Jackson, 7.1 seconds left to go. Western Kentucky 76, UTEP 75. And we're going to have a timeout called. And I believe it is a full timeout.
I said it with about 40 seconds left. This could be a very long 40 seconds, and it has been exactly that. Both Western Kentucky and UTEP using their timeouts wisely here.
Once again, how about Maya Meredith with a big three-pointer to give Western Kentucky the lead after being down 19 points. She's got 15 points in this game. The Miners just fouled, so that means that I believe Western Kentucky is not in the bonus yet. The Miners going to have to foul right away once they get the ball inbound, Rachel.
So many twists and turns in this final fourth quarter, and even more so in this final minute. 7.5 seconds left. What else does this game have in store?
So the Miners have to foul right away as soon as the ball is inbound. 76-75 the score. Can Western Kentucky maintain this lead? They pass it to Savory. The Miners need a foul. They're not able to foul yet. And there's the foul. 1.5 seconds left to go. As Western Kentucky did a great job to not get fouled, basically, Rachel, and have 6 points.
Yeah, a massive play there from Western Kentucky. Just the quick ball movement to run the clock down. Now just 1.5 seconds left on the clock.
And now Jalen Foster will go to the line. 79% free throw shooter. Makes the first one easily. Now here's the thing. Do you miss this on purpose? Make the clock run, or do you make it? The Miners will take a timeout right away if she does. And she misses it. And the time runs out. And Western Kentucky has come back 19 points down, and they have beat the UTEP Miners 77-75. Congratulations to Western Kentucky.
Mando getting ready to go over and interview one of the Western Kentucky players after this massive 77-75 win over UTEP. We knew it was going to be a good game. The number 2 team in Conference USA in Western Kentucky playing the number 3 team in UTEP, playing each other here, and Western Kentucky going on a massive run to start the fourth quarter, ensuring that UTEP did not score one bucket from the field this game in the fourth quarter. The only points they found were just from the free throw line. Mando getting ready, and I'll send things over to Mando now. Looks like we're having some technical difficulties there with Mando. We'll get you
I had to turn on the mic real quick. Once again, congratulations on that tremendous win. Down 19 points. What was said by coach to start that fourth quarter?
Play defense. I mean, we just weren't playing defense, so just lock up, play defense, and stop, score, stop. So that's just the biggest thing, is get stops on defense.
As you started getting that momentum, what were you guys saying to each other?
Stay together. I mean, just stay together, because when you separate, that's when bad things happen, and that's what happened in the third quarter. I mean, we just separated, and right before halftime, so just coming together, that's just the biggest thing, is just staying together.
And now, of course, she knew that UTEP had a big game on Thursday with that 19-point lead. For y'all to come back, that is a tremendous accomplishment. You stay in second place in Conference USA. Congratulations on this victory, Hope.
Thank you so much.
All right, and that is Hope Savori. Congratulations. Our player of the game, Hope Savori, had a tremendous game here against the UTEP Miners. Western Kentucky beats UTEP by a score of 77-75. Let's send it back to Rachel.
Yeah, so Hope Savori there with 16 points for Western Kentucky. She led the team today in their massive 77-75 win over UTEP. Western Kentucky now moves to 13-9 and 10-3 in conference play on the season. Meanwhile, the UTEP Miners fall to 14-7 and 7-5 in conference play. A massive one here at the Don Haskins Center in front of the biggest crowd in the Don Haskins Center in the Baker era. But unfortunately, going the way of Western Kentucky for those Miner fans. From here at the Don Haskins Center, it's Mando Medina and Rachel Phillips. Western Kentucky winning 77-75 over the UTEP Miners. That'll do it for us here on ESPN+.